Unmuted just to be my eyes and ears in case you're not seeing something that I think I'm saying and
I
showing,
will I will
but
let you
I'm not.
know. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I think I know everybody here. I'm Denise Gagne. I've been teaching since before many of you were born. And I've had the best couple of weeks of teaching, 3 weeks of teaching in my granddaughter's grade 4 classes. And I'm teaching them how to play recorder. So if you're on Music Play Online, look soon for the introduction to recorder because I'm going to actually post third class. I videoed the whole thing so you can see the strategies I use for getting those kids to play recorder and not drive you crazy. But today's topic is music and literacy, and this is a big, big topic. And if you want more of this, I believe our April 27th webinar through our Wednesday webinar series at workshops.musicplay.ca is on music and literacy. And there are two in our webinars that I did last year. The one that you're seeing essentially is webinar part 1, but there is a part 2 that follows it. So if you like what you see here today, there's more on workshops.musicplay.ca. So I will get started with my lovely PowerPoint, and hopefully I can share. This is beautiful. So music and literacy updated for 2023. Just want to let everybody know if you can travel to Washington, D.C. or Austin, Texas this summer, Sing, Say, Dance, and Play with Artie, Denise, and JJ is happening. So as a music teacher, my number one focus is teaching music and musical concepts. But I don't think that any of us in the schools should feel that it is only the classroom teacher's job to teach literacy and language skills, especially since COVID, our kids got behind. And I think if we can, we should support the teaching of literacy within our own classrooms and programs. And most often we can do it in a way that supports the teaching of music. So this is a poster that I made up at the very start of the COVID lockdowns. And it was because the province I lived in told the music teachers, sorry, you can't teach any music to the kids at home. We're only going to teach math and language arts, and there's going to be no music taught. And it was devastating for the music teachers because we know that so much of what we do supports and enhances literacy in a very positive way. And most music teachers that I know during this time were either helping a classroom teacher or giving the classroom teacher some fun songs so that the kids were not just looking at a screen, they were doing something. So I put this at the beginning of all my lessons through March, April, May, June of 2020. And I have this available as a poster, as a PDF poster, and the links that you see, I check them frequently, but they are still live, and they link to the studies that support what I'm saying in this poster. So number one, children who can keep the beat have improved fluency in language. And the studies are interesting because they studied kids when they were little, and then they tested the reading skills in middle school. And those that could keep a steady beat when they were little were much more fluent readers in middle school. Very interesting correlation. And it's been shown in more than one study, but this one from Northwestern is the one that I linked to. Reading a text more than once is a proven strategy to improve reading fluency. Well, guess what? We as music teachers do this all the time. Every time you use a lyrics video or a lyrics concept slide and you read it together as a choral reading, you are helping those children develop reading fluency. In my little recorder classes that I've done for the past 3 weeks, I have made up a recorder wrap with all the things that I want the kids to remember when they're learning recorder. And I finally made it into a lyrics video so that they could see the words and read along with me. It's important. Choral reading is something I think that's kind of been lost in classrooms, but it's still a good strategy for improving reading fluency. So in music, we have children practice discrimination between pitches. We teach them high and low. We teach them the types of voices, and they learn to recognize that. They learn about voice inflections, when we're talking about expressive singing. They learn high, low, they learn loud, quiet. And this is essential for effective communication. It's a given. When kids can read music, when they can look at a rhythm pattern and read it, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, they're decoding symbols. And decoding symbols, letters, words, sentences, visual focus, and visual memory are all part of music and literacy. Choral reading, repeated reading, echo reading, and song reading are strategies to develop prosody. And prosody, really, again, that's gives us the expressive qualities of language. It's just so important. I'm trying to teach myself Spanish with Duolingo. And one of the things I do a lot of is I listen and I repeat what they're saying so that I'm not just saying the words, but I'm saying them with the same inflections as the native Spanish speaker. And I'm not great, but it's coming. And I really do feel that what we do in music helps children in the same way to develop prosody. Finger plays, chants, and action songs, really important tools to help children develop fluency and rhythm in language. But really important is that they learn new vocabulary and they learn comprehension and they learn fine motor skills. Open, shut them, open, shut them. What are we teaching? We're teaching them what open is. We're teaching them what shut is. We in Canada are getting a lot of Ukrainian kids in our classes right now. I live in a small city, 100,000 people, and I think the number right now is between 600 and 1,000 people have arrived from the Ukraine. We've got a very supportive Ukrainian population here who's been here for decades. And so for these little guys learning English as a second language, huge help to have the finger plays and do it. Many of you will have kids that are Spanish as a first language in your classrooms. And again, this really helps our ESL kids. And then songs can teach many concepts. They can teach the alphabet. How did we all learn it? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We all learned the alphabet that way. And same with counting. I don't do one little, two little anymore because it's got a bad history. But we do many, many counting songs. And we learn about cultures through the music. We learn about basic skills. Open, shut them is learning about opposites. And we learn all these things through songs. So why use music? And we use it because rhythm, rhyme, and melody facilitate the encoding of information. When we first created the new student codes on Music Play Online, the kids had to type them in. That is no longer the case unless the kids are going directly to the website just to play games, and lots of kids do. So when I was teaching my student code to people, I went, welcome to Music Play Online, D115019. I will be 92 and in full dementia before I forget that. Because I've sung it and I've sung it many, many times. It helps facilitate the encoding of the information. Basically, it develops new neurofibers in our brains. And then there is a review of the literature indicate that memory and recall improve when lyrics and song are integrated as a learning strategy. So I am going to prove it to you. I'm going to do a poem and I'm going to ask you to say it back, but only Jim gets to unmute and say it. So we'll see how well you learn this, Jim. You are on the spot. And if it's a poem that you already know, let us know. So here's the poem. Miss Polly had a dolly who was sick, sick, sick. So she called for the doctor to come quick, quick, quick. The doctor came with his bag and his hat, and he knocked on the door with a rat, tat, tat. He looked at the dolly and he shook his head and he said, Miss Polly put her straight to bed. He wrote on a paper for a pill, pill, pill. I'll be back in the morning for my bill, bill, bill. And this is really mean and nasty to ask Jim to say this back to us because that's really putting him on the spot. But only one can unmute or else it's garbled. Actually, everybody unmute and let's see how you do. So 1, 2, 3. Miss Polly.
Polly had a dolly that was sick.
So she
took it to the doctor very quick.
Good guess. To the doctor. She called for the doctor to come quick. The doctor came
Put her to bed.
with his bag and his hat.
Oh, hat.
So we're not remembering too much of this way, are we? Our memory is remembering this much. Let's try it. Oops, I'm going to go back here. We're going to try it another way. This time I'm going to add melody and rhyme and movement. Miss Polly had a dolly who was sick. So she called for the doctor to come quick. The doctor came with his bag and his hat, and he knocked on the door with a rat tat tat. He looked at the dolly and he shook his head, and he said, Miss Polly, put her straight to bed. He wrote on a paper for a pill. I'll be back in the morning with my bill. Okay, unmute. Let me know how much you remember this time. Miss Polly.
Had a dolly who was sick.
So she
Took him to the doc. She called for the doctor. Quick.
The doctor came with his
Bag
Bag in his hat.
and he knocked on the door.
with a rat tat tat.
He peeked through the
At the dolly and he
Look.
shook his head.
I'm
shook his head.
Miss Polly put her.
Straight to
straight
bed.
bed.
He wrote on a paper.
Paper.
For a pill.
Bill.
Back in the
Morning with
for
the
my
bill.
So you went from this much to this much. And part of that was repetition because we did it twice. And part of it was because you knew what the task was. But the improvement was measurable. It was huge. And if I was in a room with you doing it live, it would be even better and even a more profound difference if we were doing it live instead of on Zoom. But you can see, you add the melody, you add the rhyme, you add the movement, and kids retain. And it's amazing. So this is why music and literacy are like this. They're totally interconnected. So my sister Carmen is a kindergarten teacher, was for 40 some years. She's retired now. She's smarter than me and she's figured out how to retire. But when she was still working, she and I worked together on a set of songs to teach her kindergarten kids letter sounds and recognition. And she had very specific asks. She wanted the songs to be short and really easy to learn. I don't know if any of you have seen the Jolly Phonics songs, but there's a lot of words in them. Our songs are very short and they either employ echo or repetitive lyrics or just simply a very short song. And they teach the letter sounds really, really effectively. And I know this, I've got proof and I'll show you in a bit. So the letter A song, An Alligator Alarm. Each letter, the original stories that were in the book for the first 2-3 years weren't very engaging for the kids. They didn't love them. So when my grandson Carter was 4, I rewrote all the stories so they would be more fun. And I tested them out on him. Carter is now 17, 6'2". He still doesn't weigh anything. I think he weighs 134 pounds, and that's after a weight gain of going to the gym for a month. He's trying to bulk up. I don't even come up to his neck. That's how tall he is. But this little boy was my tester for the stories. And if he listened and liked them, I thought, okay, we got a story here that works. And so my strategy is typically I paraphrase the story more so than reading it word for word. And this is to sort of, number one, use a whole lot of words that start with the letter A. So the kids are getting that sound in their head. And number two, as a focus activity. So alligator Al lived in a swamp in Florida. He was a very big alligator. And I'm going to go over and grab my big alligator puppet. This is one of my kids' favorite puppets. He was a big alligator, and all the animals in the swamp were afraid of him. When Alligator Al was awake, none of the animals could walk through the swamp or swim in the river. The animals kept asking, what should we do? The animals discovered that Alligator Al took a nap every afternoon. They asked the ants in the anthill nearby to keep watch and sound an alarm. When he woke up, the plan worked. Finally, the animals had a time when they could swim and walk through the swamp. The ants kept watch on Alligator Al. Notice I'm really stressing the A sounds. And when he stopped snoring and awoke, they sounded the alarm. And then the song we have 3 songs actually. That's the phonics. I'm going to teach you the Alligator Al song. Alligator alarm, ah, alligator alarm, ah, alligator Al's awake and looking for my arm, ah. And the kids truly love this song. And again, I've got proof. I will show you my proof. So we did an Alligator Al song, and we did the letter songs to teach the phonics. When letter A is long, it says its name, A, A. When letter A is long, it says its name, A, A. When letter A is long, it says its name out loud and strong. When letter A is long, it says its name, A, A. And of course, I could play it and be in the right key instead of singing with my low voice. I'll play short letter A. Let's sing along. You'll get onto it right away.
Short letter A says ah, 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 ah. Short letter A says ah, 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 like alligator Al.
Now say it.
Short letter A says ah, 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 ah. Short letter A says ah, 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 like alligator Al. Short letter A says ah, 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 ah. Short letter A says ah, 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 like alligator Al.
And I have never counted how many times I say that short letter A says ah, but it's a lot. We sing it, we say it, we sing it. And a friend of mine that I used to do a lot of workshops with, in fact, I'm going to a concert with her tonight. She used to quote a research study that said there are some children, not all, some children that have to hear letter A says ah 1,500 times before it's in their brain for life. And, you know, experiences with my grandkids. I have a really bright little granddaughter that's 7 now. I think by the time probably well before she was 2, she knew her letters and her sounds. Her little brother, very bright little boy, he didn't know them till 5, but he knows all of them now. So kids learn at different rates, even with the same reading of alphabet stories at home and all the work we do with them. I have a son who took 2 goes through kindergarten. He was a very young 4-year-old. And so he went through kindergarten once. In Canada, you can go to kindergarten when you're 4, if your birthday's before December 31st, and in those days, before February 28th. So we had kids going through kindergarten that didn't turn 5 until February. They've since changed that. It's pulled back to December 31st, but it's still younger than your kindergarten kids in Kentucky. Your kids have to be 5 before they go to kindergarten. So he did a second year of kindergarten, and second go round, he still didn't know all his letters and sounds. Had a phenomenal grade 1 teacher. And now he does theater and he memorizes these long scripts, and he's a beautiful reader. You'll actually see him on the website fairly often. He does voiceovers for us. So everybody learns at different rates, but with your kids in your classes, you want to do letter songs that are fun, even for the kids that have caught on the first time. My little L still liked short letter A says ah, 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 even if she knew that already. So she's reviewing. Other kids are learning for the first time. So here's the alligator alarm story or song. Let's sing the whole thing.
Alligator alarm, ah! Alligator alarm, ah! Alligator Al's awake and looking for my arm, ah!
It goes behind your back.
Alligator alarm, ah! Alligator alarm, ah! Alligator
got my head. And I would go through and ask each of the kids, what part of your body would alligator Al like to eat? Keep it clean, but 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds generally know that already. But nose, wrist, elbow, shoulder. I had a little one go like this. I want him to eat my elbow. So they obviously didn't quite know which was elbow, which was shoulder. But we would do these body parts to review the parts of the body that they might not know. So again, that's teaching basic skills, that's teaching literacy. But the kids really do enjoy this. So this is grandson when he was 11 months old.
Alligator alarm. Ah! Alligator alarm. Ah! Alligator out there waking, looking for my arm. Ah!
So at 11 months, he knew that song. And, you know, we sang it lots, and it's so fun to see him now, and I look up at him.
Go.
Okay, so extensions, suggest other body parts, printables. As music teacher, I wouldn't do the printables in my music classes, but I would make the kindergarten teacher aware that they are there, and I would send them to the classroom with her. I definitely would. And the printables include beginning letters. I'll show you them. So this is a printable of the story with A's to practice at the bottom. That could be sent home as a take-home page for the kids. So it includes the story. It includes when letter A is long, it says its name, A. And it includes short letter A says A. So you could send it home with the kids, and they could sing it with their parents. What you could even do is add to this musicplayonline.com, your student code is, and write the student code in. So if kids want to go on the website, practice songs, they can. We had a situation a week ago, which was really interesting. A parent phoned our office and said, I really need to get a refund on my credit card for the website subscription. And the office told her, well, we typically don't do refunds. What's the situation? Her 11-year-old daughter had liked the music games on Music Play Online so much that this 11-year-old had gone in, and despite all the controls that we have to keep kids from signing up, she'd signed up for an account with her mother's name. And when the 2-week trial ran out, she signed up with her mother's credit card to pay for it. I mean, this is an 11-year-old with some smarts. So the office was able to tell her, go to the teacher, find out what the student code is from the teacher. But I know from my recorder kids that sometimes doing it digitally doesn't work. If you do it on a piece of paper, sometimes it gets home more effectively. So this is page 2 and 3 of the printables. This is what my sister, the kindergarten teacher, wanted kids to do. So in box number 1, she would have her kids highlight all the A's. She had a class set of highlighters. So they'd highlight all the A's in that box, and then she'd put their alphabet booklets away. She'd made up the booklets for every letter and kept them in the kindergarten room. They'd read the story, sing the songs, and then do their little alphabet book. In the second box, these are tracing A's, and she would do that with pencil and paper, and they would count how many A's they found on that page. Fold up the book, put it away. The next day, they would sing the songs, tell the story again, or retell the story, and now they would practice a whole row of uppercase and lowercase A's, and they would think of 2 things that start with A. So go back to our story. Ants start with A. Animals start with A. So we did lots of things in the story that you could use. And students can print if they're at that stage of development. If not, teacher or EA can scribe the word underneath. So worksheets, I think quite useful. I would send this one home with the kids as an Ask Me page. I would send these 2 to the kindergarten teacher to see if they want to use them. So where are they? On Music Play Online, search the letter A or whatever letter you're working on, and the worksheets are in the printables. There is also a printable resource available, and we do have student books available as well, but that hasn't, typically most people just do the downloads. So I wanted to focus on a specific song and show you some of the literacy options. So the song I'm going to focus on is the song Today is Monday. And there's a book by Eric Carle, which I brought the wrong book down here. I brought Pancakes instead of Today is Monday. But you can tie into the Eric Carle book, read them the story, then teach them the song, and then there's tons of literacy things that you can do with them. So I think I am going to, I'll just go through this quickly. In terms of literacy, these are the core standards that kids would come out of this activity with in terms of literacy outcome. Books and other forms of print are organized in special ways. Words are made up of letters. Print is read from left to right and from top to bottom. One print word represents one spoken word. When reading aloud, every word has a first and last letter. So those are the literacy outcomes. And here's the musical outcomes. We're going to sing, we're going to play, we're going to create patterns with food word rhythms. We're going to choose instruments to play the days and the food. We're going to explore timbre of unpitched. And if you've got older kids, you can have them play the song, accompany it with ukuleles using F and C. So I can sing songs, create accompaniments, identify unpitched instruments, read rhythms, etc. So I am going to go on to Music Play Online and find that song. Don't know why that's so tiny. There we go. It's a whole lot bigger. And I'm going to go to the song list and I'm going to search Today is Monday. And so here is the notation and the lyrics. I think probably everybody's familiar with this song and we're pretty close to the traditional. I know I learned it probably from the Raffi recordings is where I learned it. So we have all these printables and I don't know how I can get you to see this better. Turkey, Wednesday watermelon, Thursday thick shake, Friday French fries, Saturday spaghetti, Sunday soup. So I might just print out these day of the week cards. So I'm practicing basic skills, I'm practicing days of the week, and we would sing it and we would point to it and maybe we would clap those words. Monday meatballs, Tuesday turkey, Wednesday watermelon, Thursday thick shake, Friday French fries, Saturday spaghetti, Sunday soup. And I'm going to do both parts of soup because it's got a diphthong in it, but I might use those word cards to teach. I taped these to the whiteboard because I have my pocket chart at choir right now and I didn't have it here, but I would probably put these in the pocket chart instead. So that's step one, is just singing the song and going through the parts. So here's step two. This is the word cards with the rhythms. So I've got on it Monday meatballs, and I've notated Monday meatballs, and I would decide with the kids, how should we do that? Should we clap it? Should we play it on an instrument? And then we decide how we were going to do that. So let's do grab some instruments here and we'll see what we can come up with. I have to be able to change quickly. So Monday meatballs, I might do on sticks. Tuesday turkey might be another group and maybe I'll do it on Jingle Bells. Tuesday turkey. Turkey makes me think of Christmas, which makes me think of Jingle Bells. And then we have Wednesday watermelon. Let's do that on a shaker. Wednesday watermelon. And Thursday thick shake. I've got my little drum. Thursday thick shake. And I can keep going with different instruments for each day of the week. So I'd have 7 groups and we'd sing the song, and each of the groups would play their day of the week. And of course, it's an add-on song, so you're going to end up with lots and lots of possibilities. So I'm going to go back to my search. I did that wrong. I should have done it up here and X'd right there. Okay, so now I'm here. So the food rhythm cards are what I'm looking at right now. Monday meatballs, Tuesday turkey, and that would be a fun thing to do. Now there's other things that we can do as well. The accompany the song. This is a one-page version of it. I could use it for my for myself kind of as a score, and we could write in what we wanted to do. Or if you wanted to divide again your class into groups, this group is going to do Monday, Tuesday. This group is going to do Wednesday, Thursday. This group will do Friday, Saturday, and this group will do Sunday. And so you could make up your groups and have them do that. But I think handy as a score. And then illustrate a mini book. So the first page just explains how to do it. I made one just before the webinar started, and I'll tell you, it's so fast and easy. It's unbelievable. I take it to the copier. Of course, I have 8 million pieces of paper. Here is the mini book that I made. So you take it to the copier, you copy the whole thing double-sided. So this is the illustrated version, and there's a non-illustrated version. So that one's not. This is the difference. Illustrated version has all the pictures done already, and all the kids have to do is the cover. If I didn't have very much time, that's what I would do. I would do the one that's already got the illustrations, and then I could send this home with the kids after. If you've got kids from homes where there might not be a lot of storybooks, and the only storybooks that the kids get are the ones that they take home from the library at school, this is a way to get little storybooks into everybody's hands that they can keep. And in Music Play Online, there's one of these little mini books in grade 1, probably one for every week of the school year. There's tons of them in there. Now, a second way that we make the mini books available is with no illustrations, where the kids do all the illustrations. I would leave some of these in your subtubs, because this is a great sub activity. Most subs will kind of remember that song, or maybe they could even ask the kids if the kids could sing it to them, and then the kids could illustrate this while they're in music class with the sub. And I'll tell you, the sub feels really comfortable with this kind of lesson, as opposed to having to do a full music class. So that's text only mini book, illustrated mini book. This is an Ask Me page. And this is a John Feyerabend idea, where he sends home, suggests that you send home what you did in music class and ask the kids to sing it to you. So the kids remember better. When my son struggled in school, he'd come home, and one of the things I would do at home is say, "What did you do in school today?" And we would review it, because it would stick better if we did it at home and at school. So the songs will stick better. If you've got a program coming up, send the words of the song home and write on the bottom what your student code is for the website, so that the kids can go and practice if they want to. So we've added a little bit to this. We've added draw a picture that shows what the song makes you think of. And then we've added the song lyrics. If you don't have time to do this in music class, just send it home and say to the kids, you can do this at homework as homework if you like, but please sing the song to 3 people that you know. So that's what Ask Me pages are. There's Ask Me pages all through pre-K, kindergarten, 1, 2, I'm not sure about 3. And then the days of the week picture cards. So these are just the days of the week. This is, I think, version 1. here's the ones that I had cut up and on the whiteboard with the kinds of food, and I printed them in color so they looked a little prettier. And then we have some of the food cards just by themselves. So the food cards are this size, and I like to cut those in half. And the follow-up activity that I would do with this is I would make word rhythm patterns out of the food. So let me look. Okay, this is meatballs. Make sure you can see this. In fact, I'll stop sharing, then you can see better. So I have meatballs, turkey, French fry spaghetti. Let's say it together. Here we go. Meatballs, turkey, French fry spaghetti. And decide how we're going to play it. Let's try it on a drum. Meatballs, turkey, French fry spaghetti, meatballs. Is there another way we could do it? Let's try it this way. That's national standards. You try something out and then you refine it. I didn't want to end on spaghetti. I want that in the middle. Let's try a different instrument. Let's try it on our sticks. Here we go. French fry spaghetti, meatballs, turkey. Which way did you like it better? Why? Can you tell me why you liked it better that way, using musical words? So you get kids starting to think about their compositions, refine their compositions, and do it first as a class, and then you do it as groups so that they start thinking about this on their own. So I love those word rhythm compositions. I think they're lots of fun to do. I would use all or part of the song as a theme, and then the word rhythm compositions as a B section, and then sing again. I might only do, today is Monday, today is Monday, Monday meatballs, all you hungry children, come and eat them up. And then we do French fry spaghetti, meatballs, turkey, French fry spaghetti, meatballs, turkey. I might use just, all you hungry children, come and eat them up. And that would actually be even better. All you hungry children, come and eat them up. So that's 8 beats, and we'd follow with 8 beats of food. 8 beats sing, 8 beats food. So questions, thoughts, comments. I would love to hear what you have to think about this process.
You've got some comments in the chat, but you were rolling, so I hesitated, but you can take a look at those, or I can read them. Kim Woolens.
I can see that. Okay, so when Kim says, I taught my children their address and phone number by putting it to a melody like Are You Sleeping? And honestly, if I put something to a song, I remember it. It really helps. Kindergarten. Yes, it is. This is how they learn. I'm reading the book Swimmy this week with 2nd grade. I love that story. I just love it. When I looked for fish songs, I came across the fish songs with the letter F. I almost dismissed it because I thought it was for kindergarten and preschool. Oh, Finn the Fish is so much fun. And I don't have my giant shark here, but I have a giant shark puppet that I spent about $50 on. And it's, I don't think it's a folk madness, and I don't know if it's still available, but kids freaking love this. And I have another fish book that I brought down with me today, and it's called There's a Shark in the Park. And I love this book. It's from Britain, so it might not be as well known in Canada and the US as it is in Britain, but it's one of those cute little things. I found it on YouTube when I was looking for storybooks, and then I ordered it and waited 6 weeks, and it eventually come. But what a great storybook. So if you're continuing on your fish theme, look for Shark in the Park, because it's a really, really cute story. But Finn the Fish is awesome. And there's another song on Music Play Online called Slippery Fish. And it's really, I know a lot of speech therapists in Alberta, probably in all of Canada, a lot of speech therapists use the Slippery Fish song because it teaches blends. Let's actually digress, and I'll take you to the Slippery Fish song. That is a big digression, but that's okay. I'm going to look for it in the song list. It's not in a grade, so you might not find it easily. It's also titled Octopus, but it's super cute and it's got repetitive lyrics, so you'll catch on and be able to sing right away with it. There's your blend.
Slippery fish, sliding through the water. Slippery fish. Oh no, it's been eaten by a octopus, squiggling in the water. Octopus, oh no, it's been eaten by a tuna fish, flashing through the water. Tuna fish. Oh no, it's been eaten by a great white shark, lurking in the water. Great white shark. Oh no, it's been eaten by a humongous whale, spouting in the water. Humongous whale.
Kids' favorite part. Yes, that is a very, very fun video. So it's called Octopus. I don't have any additional activities for it yet, but I'm revising kindergarten, and that's likely where it's going to end up. Okay, don't want to run out of time. So musical outcomes for today is Monday. Lots of musical outcomes, but wonderful literacy outcomes as well. Monday meatballs. We talk about consonants. We do consonants. Tuesday, turkey, beginning sounds. So there's no reason why you can't do both as music teachers. So where to find literacy on Music Play Online? So I've got a PDF of storybook lessons in lesson planning overview. And there are lots of storybook lessons. I'll take you back to the site and show you. The music literacy poster is there in lesson planning. Search mini book, search class book. And class book are books where the kids illustrate one page of lyrics, and then you coil them and put them together, and you've got a big book for your class. And if you can make 2 of them, you can send one to the classroom teacher. You can even send them to the library, and for as long as they last, kids can sign them out. Another way is to search song stories, and there are some wonderful stories in kindergarten that use simple songs. So I'm going to jump back into website and show you where these things are. So in lesson planning, I'm in the overview. That side is highlighted. If I go down to highlights, here are storybook lessons. It's a PDF with storybook lessons in Music Play. And so if I click on that PDF and download it, I want to make it full screen. I don't know how to do that. Makes it a little bit bigger. Storybook lessons. So there are in Music Play Pre-K in the lesson plans, storybook lessons that use Pete the Cat, Eric Carle's book, Opposites, Mortimer, Up, Up, Down. In Pre-K 2, there's, just look at them. There's tons of storybook lessons in there, and they cross the grades. So you don't have to think these are just Pre-K. They will work with K. I've done lots of them with grade 1. I've done lots of them with grade 2 as well. So those are Pre-K lessons In Music Play 2, I do the Nutcracker, I do a sea story, I do cookies. In Music Play 3, the Three Little Pigs is included for kids to write accompaniments to. In Music Play 4, the Crane, a Japanese legend, is there. Now, this, I want it bigger. How can I make this bigger? I'm just going to download it, and then I can make it bigger. Cancel that. Download it and open it up. There, now you can see it. So Music Play Kindergarten, search Simple Song Stories or Song with Story. And I've taken 8 of the simple reading songs and created a story around the song. So this is Rain, Rain, Go Away. Anna woke up to the drip dropping of raindrops on her window pane. Then I have a little poem that you can add an instrument to. I actually like a shaker for this. My shaker is gone missing. I'll use what I've got. Pitter patter, says the falling rain. Pitter patter on my window pane. Oh, Anna thought, I wanted to go play outside. Carter and I were going to practice doing cartwheels. I wish that rain would go away. And then they sing, rain, rain, go away, come again another day. Rain, Rain doesn't have a game to go with it. And it was kind of a boring song for the kids. There wasn't any attraction to it. Once I put it in the context of story, kids liked it. So all of these here are the same thing. Naughty Kitty Cat does have a cute little game. It's also a very cute little story. And then these are reproducible little books, those mini books, and you can find them by searching mini book, class books. The Create a Story that's available in the Halloween unit is a wonderful one. And then we have a few other resources as well. So if I go back here, I go to my search and I search mini book. Every one of these songs has a mini book. I'm searching in Discover. I should search in the song list. It'll be better. Mini book. And you can see there's just a wealth of them. All of those have those ones that you go to the photocopier, you set it to do 2 left staples, and you don't have to put them together. If I search class book, I'm going to find the big coiled books. So I Am a Pizza, I have that one on my stand, and this is the template for it. So what I typically do is I download it, print it out 8.5 by 11, enlarge it 129%, and make it bigger so that it will fit on the big music stand, and then the kids can see the lyrics even better. Now, if I search in the song list, and I'm going to search specifically in kindergarten, I'm going to search Song Story. Oh, shoot. I'm going to search story, see if that works. Okay, let's see. Rain, Rain shows up. Gingerbread Man shows up. Naughty Kitty Cat. These are all the ones that have these little stories built in. And so here is, for Gingerbread Man, the story. And you can teach the story to the kids. But it's not just Gingerbread Man. It's all kinds of, there's 8 different songs that have these in kindergarten. Okay, I don't want to get too far off my track. Search mini book, search class book, search song story. I was going to show in lesson planning where the Musicus Literacy poster is. So go back to website, go back to lesson planning. And right here, number 1 is Musicus Literacy. And it's there with the links built in. So if I click on that link, it should take me to the website at Northwestern where the study is. So you can print this off, you could email it to your parents as a PDF, email it to your admin so that they get this information and learn how important music is. Okay, we'll wrap this up and do some questions. So that's how to find literacy. Literacy webinars on Music Play Online. If you go to workshops.musicplay.ca, it's separate from the Music Play site. it's its own, it's like a learning management system site. I'm doing a workshop called Choreographed Wiggling, and this will be all the little action songs and finger plays that teach literacy and basic skills as well as musical skills. And that's planned for April 26th. It's part of our Wednesday webinars. It's free and it starts at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Also on this website is a recording of Music and Literacy Part 2 that goes into more of the storybooks that I dearly love. And we have the webinars as well on our YouTube Music Play channel. So I'm going to stop the share, and just to save you the time of doing the second webinar, it's a good webinar, actually, like it a lot. I'm going to show you some of the storybooks I use and talk about the whys. So the Eric Carle Opposites book, I really like that because it talks about loud and quiet. It talks about up and down. I think it does high and low. And I use it with the song Open Shut Them. So you can search on Music Play for Open Shut and you'll find the song, but it's cute and it ties in really, really well to this book. If you don't have a copy of it in the music room, go to your library. I'm sure it's there. It's going to be there. This is one that I always look at the Scholastic book order forms when my grandkids have them, because I like to order the Scholastic books. They're really reasonably priced, or if you have a Scholastic book fair that comes to your school, I do a wander through and I buy as much as I can because they really do a good job. So this one is Loud and Quiet with animals. And I think these illustrations are gorgeous. And if you're talking about loud and quiet, it's a really good way to make sure that concept is solid in the kids' heads. I mentioned the book Shark in the Park. If you're doing anything to do with fish or sharks, we've got my version of Baby Shark on there, which I like better than the famous one. My version has more fun actions. So Shark in the Park and Baby Shark work really well together. Another sort of must-have book in your library is Brown Bear. And I went to a workshop with Sister Lorna Zimmer, who used this for vocal improvisation. And so ever since, I have used it as well. So what she would do is she'd sing a different melody each time. And instead of asking for the same melodic answer from the kids were invited to make up their own melodic answer. So instead of just brown bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. I would go, brown bear, what do you see? And then the child might answer, I see a red bird looking at me. So exploring different pitches and melodic improvisation. Love this one. There's one by Mem Fox from Australia called I Went Walking that's similar. I'm writing a set of storybooks about instrument families. Trumpet, trumpet, will you play for me? I can play so loudly, then play quietly. And our artist is coming close to having them ready to go to print. We have the songs or the storybooks that illustrate lyrics. So I've got Little Rabbit Foo-Foo. I've got Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Scholastic has a million of these, and they're all beautifully done. So instead of just teaching the song, Take Me Out to the Ball Game, you sing it as you read it. So a beautiful way to integrate literacy and music. I have 3 ultimate favorites from Pete the Cat. I don't really like the newer ones, but I really like the original 3. I love My White Shoes, Pete the Cat and His 4 Groovy Buttons, and Pete the Cat Rockin' in My School Shoes. And if you haven't used those with your kids, just be wary when you start, because when I did it with my pre-Ks, they wanted Pete the Cat every class till the end of the year. It was kind of like Sleepy Bunnies. It just didn't go away. And repetition is good for kids. It's just we get bored. But the repetition was really good for the kids. I am sure you have many, many more storybooks and storybook lessons that you could share. But this is just a little taste of how on Music Play Online, we're really striving to integrate music and literacy. I should actually share one more time because we the province of Alberta was looking at approving us as a literacy resource for the new language arts curriculum. And so we made a unit, and it's called literacy. And what we did, we put all the alphabet songs into one place. So if you don't want to go hunting for them, they're all here. We put all the poems from kindergarten into one place so that you could go through and find them more easily. And then my sister, the kindergarten teacher, did, she's done a bunch of these resources for integrating with specific songs. So these are Carmen's writing resources for kindergarten. Again, I think this is more for the kindergarten teacher than the music teacher, but the other things in that kindergarten area, I think, are certainly worth looking at. Can I get back there? No, I can't. I have to go back to my search. So the alphabet songs all in one place. If you go units, literacy, kindergarten poems, all in one place, and there's lots and lots of poems for you to do. The kindergarten stories are in here, it looks like, as well. So just a wealth of resources on Music Play Online for you. So what questions do you have for me? Are there any others in the chat?
You've got a couple in the chat there. One Andrea just posted.
Okay, so how high does this go up in the grades for the units literacy? Right now we have just kindergarten in there, and that was because I did the correlations to the language arts curriculum for kindergarten, and I couldn't believe it that in terms of content, Music Play Online met every outcome in the literacy curriculum. It just shows you how strong the connection is. I think it's equally important to do things like read the lyrics in grade 1 and in grade 2 and in grade 3 and in 4 and in 5. And one of the things that I'm actually doing right now, in fact, I think it's underway, we're making class book templates and mini book templates for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Because I think, again, great subplan and a great way to have kids really understand the meaning of a song. For example, Follow the Drinking Gourd. I think we have a class book template for that in 5th grade. And if you do that in Black History Month, that again would be a great activity to actually do and complete. Date, we've started, we're making the lists right now for the grade 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6 mini books and class books. So I would anticipate before the end of June, they're going to be done. That would be my guess. Okay, any other questions for me? I'm going to put my email in here, and if you think of questions after that aren't answered, by all means, send me a personal email, and I will answer. I'll also mention, if you do Facebook, Music Play Teachers Group on Facebook is very active, and very often there are a number of our teachers that know the site as well, probably as I do, and they can answer your questions before I even see them. So that's wonderful. And we moderate this group pretty closely so that it doesn't disintegrate into nastiness like some of the other sites can. We make sure that our teachers support and are kind and treat each other the way we want us, our children, to treat each other. It's, I think, a really important thing. Can I say I really hope Wendy's daughter is well? Those concussions are nothing to fool around with.
Absolutely.
I had an incident where I took my son and his friend skiing, and the son skiing, or the friend got a concussion and was hallucinating all the way home. So it's serious. It's nothing to fool around with. So I hope she gets well soon. Not
to be taken lightly, that's for sure. I was going to mention that before we everybody left, but I'm going to post the evaluation in the chat. I will absolutely do that, Andrea. And Denise, thank you so very much. Your sessions are always wonderful, and I'm sorry you called me out. I could not have repeated anything probably earlier on. I thank those who thank you for those who unmuted and joined in to help me out there. But this is just a wonderful way to learn, and music is part of literacy, as you said, and it should be as it is across the curriculum. So fantastic job. If any of you have any questions, you can stay on. I'm here for as long as you need. I'll absolutely pass the word along to Wendy. And you all keep her, Addie, in your prayers, as she did have a concussion at volleyball this night. So, but anyway, Denise, thank you so much, and we will
Thanks
see
so
you
much for
soon.
coming, everybody. Okay, bye-bye.